Hello, GenRight Nation. I'm Tony Pellegrino. This is Jeff Perkins.
This is Winston.
And Winston, yeah. This is Tech Talk. Tech Talk is something that we do live every Wednesday, regardless of where we are. We're obviously not at the shop. We are here in Sand Hollow, and we've got a whole bunch of really great stuff to talk to you about from location out here. Obviously, you're watching us over on YouTube, which is great. We've got a ton of videos over there. We're here to talk about your favorite subject and ours, Jeeps. How to drive them, how to build them, everything related. So sit tight, and we've got a whole bunch of good stuff for you. It's been quite a week so far.
It's been pretty action-packed so far.
Yeah, for sure. Was today the most action-packed with the rollover?
I don't think so.
No.
I think the rollover takes number 2. I think Flipper on the maze was more action.
Yeah.
The same guy that rolled today, he got very close in Flipper, and then we had our buddy from California in his LJ. He totally wheelied.
Oh, man.
That was pretty action-packed.
It's been wild. It's been wild. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Tech Talk is one of those places that we talk about our experiences, the parts, the driving, everything related to it. So we do accept questions. You just type them in as a comment, and Jennings will read those back to us. So thank you very much for taking time out of your busy day to join us. We've got lots of stuff to talk to you about, and you're actually going to, I'm going to grab several of our customers that are here at this event with us, and we're going to talk to them. You're going to get to hear from them all about their Jeep, their experience with GenRight parts and driving and everything. So should be fun.
Mm-hmm. I'm so stoked that we have video and sound.
She's been working on this for a couple hours to make sure it went smooth as possible.
All good.
You want to know who's watching?
Sure, give us a quick rundown.
Okay, Laura Coda says, hey.
All right, Laura.
We wish you were here.
Oh, Two Feather Channel says, who's beautiful Jeep behind you?
Yeah, Jennings. Yeah.
My
It's only beautiful because she hasn't taken it on the trail yet.
That's not true.
It's pretty true. It's pretty
it.
true. She's
Come
had a lot
on.
of RV time with this new cage.
Come on. I've been wheeling it.
Jeff's
Okay,
busting her chops.
GTJ6 says, checking in from sunny Taipei. Wish I was there hanging out.
Wow.
Ted Miranda says, watching from the BNG 4x4 garage in the BNG.
Nice.
William Figueroa, Aqua Moab Life. Jerome Bulky, hello GenRight Nation. Nice little Jeep. Kyle Ross is watching. Kathy McCavis is watching. Gary Shadwick. Laura Coda says she wishes she were there too.
Yeah, for sure.
Keith Lyon says hello from North Carolina. Sam Walker is watching.
Him, I think.
William Figueroa says hello from Puerto Rico.
Wow, nice.
And let's see, David Mark, JC Cologne, VB Tom says, Winston!
I thought VB Tom was coming.
I thought so too.
Mark Lawrence says, hello. Sure looks like a great time at Sand Hollow. So sad we are missing it. Hey guys, Trail Team 7, Stephen Draper checking in from Moab. Ran into Tommy yesterday on Cliffhanger and saw the new V2 cage up close.
Nice.
Badass.
Yeah, it looks good.
Awesome.
It's bronze.
What's up,
turned
GenRight
out
family?
great.
Okay, we have a question already. Drake.
Wow.
What's up, GenRight family? Tony, can you figure out where to mount my AccuSump on my LJ Tracer build?
AccuSump on a Tracer build. Well, if you moved your batteries back, you've got some room in the engine compartment. That would be ideal, for sure. If not,
So excited, you guys.
you've got to put it somewhere up near the engine. So that's probably going to be the best. And we always move our batteries back.
Yeah, well, it just depends if it's stock 4.0 or if you did a LS swap. Because if it's stock 4.0, they probably kept their batteries where they are.
Right. I mean, I still move them. Even.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Bobby Fisher has a question.
Sure.
2015 JK two-door. I need to get some corner armor, but really just need the quarter armor versus the full rear panel. Does GenRight have something for me?
We don't. We only have the full panels, and they're a builder's kit, which means you got to build it on your Jeep. I don't know anybody who's just doing the corner armor anymore.
Not anymore. That was like an old AEV thing, and they went away from that.
So yeah, I would just, do the whole thing if you can.
He says also, if I were to order blanks in the future, would the holes line up on the blanks?
Would the holes line up in the? Well, if we don't have the small ones anymore. So the only thing we have is the full. So, you know, yeah.
Chris Carrios, with everyone at Sand Hollow, will there be anyone at Jeep Night this Friday?
Oh, yeah. We still have a lot of the crew back there.
We'll have Alfie, we'll have Joe
Arnold.
Baggs, we'll have Arnold.
Yep.
Jordan will probably be there.
Yep.
It'll still be a great GenRight night.
Yeah, for sure. We just did ours here last night.
Yeah,
and it
we
was
had a huge
packed.
turnout. That was awesome.
That was
Ernie
really
did a
cool.
good job hosting
Yeah,
that.
he did. Ernie Fields is our local guy, and he did a great job.
Kyle Ross says, I thought a while back you said you sold a template for comp cutting the rear fenders.
I don't know that we've ever had a template for that.
No.
Man, the questions are already rolling in.
We have a full comp corner we sell.
Yeah, not really a template for it. Once you get our blanks, it's kind of up to you to decide where it's going to fully bump. Cut it out yourself. That's kind of the whole point of the blank.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of guys that want that comp look, they just accentuate it around without wiping out that rear body mount.
Yeah.
So,
Tony, can you talk about water in the tires, please?
Sure.
Haven't heard that in a while.
No, not in a while. Okay, water in the tires or lead shot or both is a popular rock crawling trick to add weight down low. It is very effective. All of the comp guys do it, but it does limit your top speed to about 15 miles an hour.
If that. I would venture to say it's not even for Jeeps.
Right. It's really for a buggy.
If you have a four-wheel steer comp buggy, then yeah, play with the different pounds you put in your front tires. But if you got a Jeep and it's ever going to see pavement, I probably wouldn't do it. I would try a suck-down winch before I tried that.
Yeah. So, but it does work for sure.
Okay, Joe Fish says, question for Tony. I now have your cage on my JKU. I would like to upgrade my 12-inch coilovers to larger 3.0 IBPs and mount them to the cage. Still running my Dana 44. Can I mount it on top of my axle?
Okay. Yes, you can mount it on top of your axle. That's typically how we do it on even the Elite. Here's the deal. Once you go beyond a 2.5 on a Dana 44, you are asking to bend the housing.
That, and I've never seen a Dana 44 that was wide enough to fit a 3.0.
3.0.
Yeah, because once you get those great shocks and the bigger ones, you're gonna drive faster. I mean, the 44 just won't handle it well.
Right. I mean, we've even had some of the Dana 60s and 70s that we've bent the housings on, you know, because we're going faster. So if your intention is to go faster, then, you know, it's probably inevitable. And maybe you're one of those people that's just looking for the forced upgrade. I get you. Jeff and I have both been there.
We've been there.
Right? So it's just a matter of time before it happens. But, you know, certainly the 3.0s are awesome.
He says also, what size coilover in inches is a 16-inch possible? I currently have 12-inch 2.5 Fox DSCs.
Okay, so if you go over to the page with the King shocks on our website, I've got the extended and the compressed lengths of everything there. Or you can go over to King or Fox's website, and they've got all that information as well.
Because King and Fox won't be the same extended and compressed.
Right, they're slightly different. Yeah. And same with ADS or whoever.
And it depends on the series of shocks from all of them are different.
Trail Team 7 asks Tony and Jeff, what are your guys' thoughts on the anti-gravity batteries?
I don't have any first-hand experience with them. I'm interested in them.
Yeah, I am too. The conversation I had with the guy that wires all of our vehicles was he was worried about fire danger with them. I think that was a couple years ago. I think they've probably improved them since then. But those batteries take a different kind of charging. Even if I want to put them in my RV, it takes a completely different type of charger to run those lithium style batteries. So I just put them in our little camper, and I bought the company's charge module just for those batteries, because your regular alternator is designed for a lead acid or maybe a gel, you know.
And we've never had an issue with an Odyssey, so we're kind of stick to what we know, what we trust, and it's one of those parts we're not fixing if it's not broken, and Odyssey's never let us down.
Yeah, and I put mine and Terremoto to the test the other day where we were winching hard and doing some stuff, and the battery, was fine. So
says I need to get window tint for my front windows. It's driving him crazy, the difference between the two tints. Okay, I'm on it.
Well, we got this Jeep over here because we figured we'd have some questions about the new cage. So
what I heard out of that is she needs half doors.
Yes,
me
she does.
too.
That's
what
the
I
answer.
heard. That's what I heard.
That is the answer.
Charge them to my husband's credit card, Jeff. Okay, Robert Fish. Oh no, Daniel Partita says, question: is it possible to run the 36 or even the smaller 25-gallon rear fuel tank if I already did a moto belt frame chop rear bumper, going with your rear coilover towers and cross members as well?
I think it changes the width from inside frame rail to frame rail, so I don't think you'd have to measure it. And I've seen some people take the motor belt and kind of thin down the frame and kind of try to get ours in, but it does take some fabricating.
Yeah, and obviously if you've already done that, you're familiar with fabricating a little bit, but we always make it clear that we do not mix other companies' parts with ours. Ours are all designed as a system, and we really want you to run our stuff.
Laura Coda, little camper, is that what Tony calls the mansion home on wheels?
No, we actually have, 13 or 14 foot little...
Yeah, 12.
The 12 foot camper.
12 foot.
Yeah, that we take on our overland trips.
That we have at home. That's not a GenRight thing. That's funny. Okay, so that's the questions, but we want to interview
We
some
got a
of our
lot of people to talk to, yeah.
So I think we should move
Looks
to the
like
middle of the
Kelly's
street.
ready to be in.
Yeah,
and
Kelly's
call people
right
Come on,
over.
big Kel.
But I do have a question.
I'm going to move right where you are, Kel.
Because it came up today.
Come over to the middle of the street, kids.
If
Right there.
someone does a flop,
Yeah.
what's the right procedure with respect to oil in the
Tony,
cylinders? And so
more.
the
Yeah, there you
conversation
go.
came up, difference between an LS and something else.
Hey,
Somebody
Henry.
was saying with an LS, you better take all them plugs out. So what's your thought? And what, from start to finish, what do you do?
Well, and both of them, like what Tony did, he got under it and just had him bump it to make sure it spun freely. And once you see that it's spinning freely, now if it doesn't, then you're pulling spark plugs right away.
Any hesitation at all? Some people put a wrench on the crank and try to turn it over, but if you just hit your key and you feel some resistance, you say, hold on. But what plugs do you pull?
So part of it is how long has it been over, right?
Today we were very quick.
We were quick on it. If it's been completely upside down for a while, you're going to have oil.
Yeah.
Okay, so then when you flip it back over, just pull the plugs. Don't even take a chance.
All, some, none, left,
All
right,
spark
center?
plugs. All spark plugs.
Yep.
It's a bear. That's a big job.
It is. Like last year when our buddy Jeff Frank flipped on the maze, that's what we did. We pulled every spark plug and shot out the oil, cleaned it, and then he's ready to go.
Yeah,
what
so
we're saying
basically...
is you fire it up and you let that oil spew out, throw the plugs back in. You may have to take them out and dry them off and throw them back in again.
Yes, yeah, you would spray them with brake cleaner. But when we say turn the key with the plugs out, you better stand back because you're going to get a shower of
It's a
oil.
wash.
Yeah,
And we unplugged the coil pack, so it's not firing.
Yeah. You really want to. You just want to blow it out. So you just crank it over like you're doing a compression test, and you just let the starter run. As soon as it looks like it's cleared out, you can stop, put the plugs back in, and then continue on. But depending on the situation where the vehicle is and how hard it was to get the plugs out, that could be a 2-hour delay.
Yeah,
And it has been
hot.
before.
And it has been.
I don't want to take my plugs out. It's like a 2-day event.
Yeah. Well, we just did Terremoto because we were doing a compression check, and we had all the right tools, and we're not, halfway on the side of the mountain or anything, right here, and it still was a pretty big job.
It was, but you have the headers that go up, which made it a lot easier than like in me and Kelly's.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
and
me and Kelly's, we're doing wobbly on wobbly, trying to get like one on each side.
well,
out.
and the motor's not hot. It wasn't hot for us. It
No.
would be hot then.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a whole nother
in which
situation.
case, it's almost worth grabbing the water, sitting down for a sec.
Yeah.
And that's going to help the oil drain down anyway.
Well, plus the guy you just pulled out of the upside down rig is,
They're a little
got his
filthy.
bell rung and
True.
probably needs a second.
Our guy was pretty calm
He
today.
was
though.
today.
He was
Good.
good.
I think he
Wait till
was
find
used
out
to-
what a windshield
yeah.
frame is nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly, can we interview you real
Heck
quick?
yeah, we can.
Yes, I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Are you asking the questions? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can both
Do
ask
you have
questions.
special questions?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
no.
we're trying to be like, creating this legend series. Like, where are they now? So
Ah.
can you point us out your Jeep first, and tell us, like, a little bit about it?
It's over here. It says the Silver Surfer. It's a
It's well known.
2005 LJ, and it's pretty fun.
Did you build it originally as a trail rig or a fully built thing, or was it a daily driver, or how did it start?
No, I bought it, took it to Tony, and we did full build. No messing around.
Okay.
He was our second tracer, right?
Well, yeah, if you're gonna do something, you got to go all the way.
Okay, and can you tell us a little bit about how your Jeep has held up to trail abuse over time?
Well, actually, it's kind of interesting. Now, I don't drive it as hard as, say, Tony or Jeff does.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. I've
He
seen
has
you.
Well, I
this
should
week.
say,
He has been lining some stuff up and just one shot.
I've seen
everything
some
hard.
stuff,
He's
Kelly.
been a
and I had
wild
some
man.
fun,
He's
yeah.
also on 42-inch stickies.
Well, that's what I was going to get at.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go to 42s, and for the longest time, I've been saying, you know, it's not necessarily. There's a lot more to it than just putting tires on and go driving around. But again, I don't drive it as much or as hard as, say, these two guys do. I've been fortunate that I really haven't gone through too many ball joints and what have you, but it is wear and tear on your drivetrain. And with those particular tires, I think they're an inch wider than the Baja Boss.
Yep.
And I always say the same thing about it. When you are like in a downhill with your tire, with all that weight on you, with your tire in a hole, and you're trying to turn, there's going to be issues if you don't have good parts that have been looked after. And so again, it's not like you just put some tires on and go drive it away and think you're going to be fine. There's going to be consequences if you don't take care of it and drive it correctly. So that's my 2 cents.
What made you choose GenRight in the first place, and what keeps you coming back?
Well, they got me twice.
That's right. This is your second build.
Hey, I have blonde hair. I'm not that smart. Right? But it just so happened that when I was in business, Tony was purchasing all of his welding equipment. And I've always been into silly things like off-roading. And so I decided that I was going to go full-blown and get a nice Jeep. I took a look at the Terremoto. We're going back about 6 years now when it was yellow. And Tony was buying all of his welding equipment from me,
Which we never met.
We didn't even know each other.
Yeah.
And I walked through the shop, and after 40 years of being around industrial shops, I knew I was at the right place with respect to Jeeps and components.
And you could see the quality, right?
Yeah, there's no question it's the place to go. So test drove the Terremoto, and I thought, I'm just going to duplicate that. So I bought, stupidly, a brand new 2015 JKU, took it over to Tony's. We pulled everything off and put everything on, and that was great. And then I thought, I think I want an LJ. So I went and I bought a used LJ, 16,000, whatever it was back in the day, about 5 years ago. Took it up there, and they put the tracer suspension on, and as long as we're bragging, that thing's badass.
Nice.
It really is.
Show me a better Jeep.
Nice.
Okay? So that's pretty much my story.
And Kelly's one of the few customers that he and I actually went out and shock tuned with King out in Barstow. We took a whole day, and it got better. By the end of the day, we made some serious improvements.
All right, Kelly.
I've been kind of fortunate because I've been running around with them for 5 or 6 years now. So now I've been following these guys. I've made my mistakes and sat back and watched, and so I kind of feel like I'm part of the crew now. But
yeah, and his Jeep is over on the GenRight website in the gallery section.
Both of them.
Both of them. The Yellow Jacket, which is his JKU full elite build as well. So.
Okay, Kelly, what would you say to someone building their Jeep right now?
well, I guess it would. What kind of wheeling are you going to do, and what style Jeep are we talking about? And I think there's pluses and minuses to.
Well, let's assume they're watching the show, so they're GenRight fans.
Well, if you want to go,
So they want to wheel like we do.
well, then there's
Not to answer the question for you.
there's really only one Jeep, and it's an LJ Tracer. Yeah, it's thinner, it's nimble. There are places for the four-door JK. I still say, in my opinion, like well, first of all, if you want passengers, then that's what you got to do.
Yeah, no question.
But
right.
there are places where that thing might be the better vehicle. Just my opinion. Maybe flat out in the desert It might be a little bit more stable. But man, when it comes to the hardcore off-road, I think the LJ is the only way to fly.
And we've both gotten this question all week. What if you're going to build one? Would you go with an LJ or would you go with JKU? And,
well, there's no.
Well, the answer is B.
No
Kelly. Do both.
GP.
Work hard.
Do you subscribe to the buy once, cry once?
No, you got to buy 2.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we have a couple questions.
Thanks,
but
Kel.
Let's interview someone else.
Okay, and Kelly's from California, by the way. If that wasn't obvious, Mr. Silver Surfer. All right, who we got? Let's get.
No. A couple questions first.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay. Have you all seen the Jeep J6 Honcho concept? Basically like a JLU chop to pick up. Still a cool design and look. If so, thoughts?
I mean, that's a style choice, right? Essentially, it's a JKU 4-door.
Yeah. I haven't really seen much of it.
No, I happen to know that Rich from Trail Hero is building one.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of a cool thing, if you want to be different. Where for us, we're having to build vehicles that everybody can identify with. And, we sell parts for those. So that's a little bit too specific.
It is, yeah.
But so obviously the Elite suspension would still fit that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, question for me. Hey, Jennings, how is Sonic treating you out there?
she doesn't know. She hasn't wheeled it.
Shush. Such a shit talker.
Do something in it.
First I was like, Tony, you didn't set up the lockers, and I don't have a radio, and I can't do any of this stuff, and I can't go on the trail. Whine. But then Jeff and Tootie.
She did one thing. She got to the bottom of Sand Hill and said, Jeff, drive it up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't like sand dunes at all. So yeah, Jeff had to do it. You were my hero. Thank you, Jeff.
It was just fine, by the way.
But I wheeled all day after they fixed the lockers. I loved it, and I couldn't see the cage at all. Like, I didn't even notice it was there, and I'm in love with my cage, and I love my Jeep. And we just need a couple little fine-tuned things back, and it'll be ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to comment on that, too. I'm sure you can chime in, because Jeff drove it. Number one, I thought the red color would be annoying. I didn't even notice it.
No, neither did I. I thought I'd get some reflection or something. Because how bright? Nothing.
Yeah, and I was really pleasantly surprised at the visibility once I was out on the trail. It's as good or better than the JL, I think.
Oh yeah, you don't notice it.
You don't notice it at all.
There's not even a cage in it.
Yeah, and Jennings and I took it on Saturday from here over to the Grand Canyon, which is about a 6 or 7 hour round trip. And over 140 off-road miles, and we were hauling in that thing. So
and it was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: so the weight of the cage in it, did it with it not being coiled over? Now, did it change anything?
I didn't feel anything different.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything.
And I'll tell
feel
you,
like it was top heavy at all.
We hit some silt beds at like over 60 miles an hour that I was really thankful we had the safety.
Jeez.
When Tony says, "Oh shit," you gotta worry.
Yeah.
But he maintained control.
I did maintain control.
Okay, question. David Mork. Can you build a custom cage for an LJ with the A-pillar further forward and through the dash? I am 6'4" and need extra room to get my big feet in.
Yeah, we get asked the custom cage question quite often, but we're really not equipped to do that. We build hundreds of these cages at a time when the machines are fired up to bend them, and that's really just not us.
No, and to be honest, even if we did, we'd have to stick one of our engineers on it. We'd have to get everything, and by the time we did his time, the machining and everything, it'd be so expensive that
you can just go to a regular shop that can custom build you a cage for sure. Yeah.
Okay, Jeep TJ6 says 2003 TJ 4.0 Auto Trans. If my trans gets too hot in the mountains, will it cool faster if I shut the Jeep off or if I let it idle in park?
So, okay, first off, don't shut it off. You need to turn it into the wind, whichever way, figure that out and do it quickly and let it idle. You need the fluid going through the cooler. A factory unit, if that's a factory unit, has what's called a heat exchanger on the radiator. So the cooler the water temperature is, the quicker that can pull down the temperature of the transmission as well. But the main thing is get it into the wind. we do the same thing. If anybody's running hot, get into the wind. If you have to, you can open the hood, which helps to get some additional heat out from underneath the
And I was told to turn the heater on inside the cab.
You can do that too. You can turn the heater on. It's not going to be comfortable once you do that.
If you get out.
Yeah, you're going to have to get out.
Yeah, but also it just happens from time to time. But if you turn it off, before it cools down, you're going to sit there hours.
Yeah.
Because the whole transmission pan has to cool off, so you really have to get it circulating in the cooler.
Yeah, and actually, Patrick Vaughn, this could be a good segue into Patrick. Come on over here, Patrick.
Come here, buddy.
This is Patrick. He is the owner of Shamrock right here.
Ken Shamrock.
And that person was just asking a question about the transmission getting hot, and I know you've talked to Jamie about this, right?
Shamrock have a baby?
Yeah, for the transmission, so I do everything in 4-low, so I don't have much, because I have a totally stock driveline transmissions, Rubicon transfer case.
Yep.
So I do most of everything in 4-low. Obviously, you have to watch your speed, and if I'm in 4-high, I don't have much power, but the tranny just gets too hot. I pop it into 4-low, and the temperatures comes right down. And yeah, I heard you talking about it. So if you stop and your tranny is hot, let the engine running. Either let it in gear or neutral. Don't put it in. I wouldn't say put it in park, because you need the oil needs to keep circulating. I used to open my hood. I don't anymore, because I got a brushless bigger radiator, brushless fan, so the engine stays cooler. So that means then, obviously that's like the tranny cooler is right up next to it, right? So that's I think that's helping a lot. So my engine temperatures are
okay.
Really
You have
good
one
now.
other trick you do with that little button on the shifter.
So if I'm on relatively flat and I want to go fast through the whoops or whatever, I can put it in 4-high as long as I have momentum, and then I turn off the overdrive. So I was chatting one night around the campfire, which is always a good idea, chat around the campfire with Jamie, and he was saying, we were trying to figure out why is my tranny getting so hot, and he says maybe it's the torque converter is just it's just spinning and nothing is happening, basically. So turn off the overdrive, and that's helped enormously. I'm not going to go at 80 miles an hour, but I can go at 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, and not worry about my tranny overheating.
Right.
So that's
the answer. Yeah, you want to, depending on your drivetrain, some of you might have to put that in manual mode if you don't have the button, and just putting it in manual mode and backing down one gear and getting the RPM up will help to
exactly.
Okay.
And just keep the momentum going, and then it gets a lot smoother when you're going faster.
Okay, now she's got a ton of questions for you.
Well, hold on. We got a question that you guys probably could all answer. Black Stack says, building a Tracer TJ to LJ LS3.
Good choice.
Pros and cons of full manual valve body or automatic?
Okay, I'll start.
You're going to be the same thing.
So first off, when you do the full manual valve body, you reduce the number of parts in the transmission by over half. Okay, and you then have control. A normal transmission is going to try and keep shifting when you don't want it to. So being able to hold a gear is, if it's not important to you right now, then you're not wheeling enough, but it will be important. We've talked to so many customers that don't listen to us, and 2 years later they figure it out and they're back redoing it. Anything else to add to that?
100%.
Yeah.
And you think, it's going to shift for me. When you're on a hill climb, you're an obstacle, it never shifts at the right time.
Right.
I've seen people fighting an obstacle because their tranny keeps wanting to shift at the wrong time. Where if you had control and you can stick it in exactly what gear you wanted, and then you also learn how to double foot to keep the RPMs up and push through the brake. So it just turns you into a way better driver, and you have so much more control. It's not going to shift on you in opportune time.
Yeah. I had a gentleman from Louisiana riding with me for the last 2 days, and he's a manual transmission. But as he watched me, he said, "Oh, this is basically a manual transmission without a clutch." And that's how you have to think about it, because you still shift every gear, and you can rev it way up and shift, or you can short shift it, whatever is appropriate for where you're at. And it's very effective.
Yeah, and sometimes you're going through the whoops, you're going through the sand at Johnson Valley, it's hot out. You want those RPMs up so it cycles the fluid quicker and keeps you cool.
Yep.
So there's a lot of benefits. I can't think of one pro for the non-manual valve body.
Right.
Besides like letting your wife or somebody drive it to the mall.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not a fan of that at all. I don't like that drive, where fourth gear was.
I thought you were going to say, I'm not a fan of that at all. I never let my wife drive.
Actually, the couple times I have, she's just run into a boulder.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, already, Patrick, for a couple questions?
Might learn not to.
I can't. Not this year. Okay, Patrick, ready to tell us a little bit about your Jeep?
Well, first off, where are you from?
I'm originally from Ireland, County Cork in Ireland, Southern Ireland, but I live in San Diego.
Hence the name Shamrock?
Shamrock, yeah.
Okay, can we stand in front
torture
of your
trying
Jeep?
to find a
Go
name
this
for a
way.
Jeep, but-
Go this
And
way.
how long have you had this Jeep?
Go this way. Go this way.
We want us over here. Okay.
I have the Jeep for about 7 years, and I have the Tracer build for 4 years.
Okay.
What was the first part modification that you did on this Jeep?
It came with a few things on it. The
Pussy dice?
the first part I bought was actually GenRight fenders.
Ah.
Yep.
We appreciate
Okay.
that.
So how has your build evolved over time?
So it went from I bought it. It had like a 2-inch lift. It was nothing really. When I bought it, I honestly don't think anybody had put it in
Four-wheel drive.
Yeah, so
Which is the perfect buy.
yeah. And then so I went from just put on the fenders, whatever it is, just did a few bits and pieces, and then decided I wanted something better, and went straight to the Tracer. I did a lot of research. You buy all these magazines, 4Low magazine or Crawl or whatever it is, and they do kind of comparisons,
Yeah.
and everybody had different LJ bills, and they were all going through it, and they had like X, Y, and Z, like 20 different manufacturers stuff in there, and saying, well, how is it all going to work together, right? So I'm sure they're not all talking to each other, right? So that's why it brought me to GenRight. I'd met Tony several times. Tech Talks, somebody out wheeling their stuff, right? Proving
And you'd seen me out on the trail.
Out on the trail,
Yeah.
right? And then, you sell a complete suspension, everything. You don't have to think about it, right? So everything is cycled, everything works together, kind of thing. So called the guys, and Andrew and Jeff, and started probably thinking about a Legend first, and then I said, oh, maybe a Tracer, because again, I'm not hugely technical per se myself, but the Tracer, I just like the idea. Everything is set, right? So I had no decisions to make, just to say yes or no, right? So made the decision, and Tony, we always joked and say, someday I'm going to come to you and hand you the keys, and that day happened, right?
Yep.
So
for what we call the oil change.
The oil change.
Yeah.
I had a GenRight oil change, yeah. So and I was, apart from, I think Andrew was the first one, I was the second Tracer to do it with the stock.
Stock engine. That's right.
Stock engine, yeah.
That's right.
So-
Anthony
'cause you
says
had
it
Rubicon.
always starts with the fenders, which is true for me too. It starts with fenders.
Yeah. So and obviously never looked back.
Patrick, have you ever broken a GenRight part out on the trails?
Nope.
No, never.
Nope.
Simple answer.
So it's held up quite well.
And I look after my rig.
Yeah.
As much as I can. I can't rip apart an engine or anything like that or whatever, but I keep the Johnny joints greased. I look after it, tighten all the bolts and stuff. And if I do see an issue, then I just take it to people that know what to do. Kind of thing, yeah. So I don't.
you were-
Where are you taking to Bend, right?
I take Bend Motorsports, which
They
is
do
just
a
down the
good-
road from me.
Yeah, in
Great.
San Diego.
Yeah, or either take it back to GenRight, obviously, as well.
And if
right?
you
So-
watch any of our videos, Patrick is super smooth driver.
He is.
Wheels with the best of us, and makes it. He's one of the guys I don't even have to look after anymore. So
Have you ever rolled?
Well, I learned from the best. And actually, one thing you said about, two-footing as well, I encourage everybody, look at all our videos and stuff. Look at my videos, look at your videos and stuff. If you look at the back of the Jeep, you'll see the brake lights on all the time.
Even when we're like this.
Yeah, the brake lights. And if you look like you're gunning it up a steep slope, the brake lights are still on because we're trying to keep it like smooth.
The drivetrain loaded.
The drivetrain
Yes.
loaded.
Yeah.
And if you're waiting for a spot or whatever it is, leave it in gear, put your foot on the brake, keep on a little bit of gas, and don't let it relax, because the minute it relaxes, it'll plop, and likely you're going to slide your butt off something, you know. So, but look at it,
awesome,
your brake light
Patrick.
should be on all the time, basically, right? So.
Okay, so any words of advice for somebody watching that's doing a build right now?
GenRight.com.
Patrick,
But,
you said
you know,
your
honestly,
smile
as
says
well,
it all.
come on out to come out to one of these
events.
And if you haven't, your Jeep isn't capable of keeping up or whatever, jump in. There's always spares.
Somebody did that with me
There's
the last 2
always
days.
spares.
Yeah,
Somebody
rode with you
And
too.
you'll just see the difference. It's just it speaks for itself,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And you'll never want to turn back and build it once.
That's what the guy that was riding with me said. He goes, I watch all the videos, I'm following everybody. He goes, nobody's ever in the rest of the industry offered for somebody to come ride with them.
Yeah.
He's like, that's a GenRight thing only.
Right. Yeah. And if you're a guy, maybe consider it's your wife should drive the
That's
ride.
I wasn't going to tell that whole story.
Because that's what happened to me, right?
But I sold his wife, and then that was
I
easy.
see his wife. I see her.
Ah, there she is. Here's the culprit.
Hi, Laura.
She got a ride in Terremoto, and that was it. On the whole trip home from Johnson Valley, it was Laura was talking Jeep all the way, kind of thing. So I said, "Score."
Okay, wait. My last question's for Laura.
Oh.
Laura,
What?
has this Jeep brought you new friends or taken you places you never expected?
Got to think about that one.
No, I don't have to think at all about that one. Yeah,
It's been awesome.
yeah, we've seen so many incredible places, but it's the people.
Yeah,
It's definitely the people.
And the GenRight crew are
The
just
GenRight
awesome.
crew, especially.
Especially around the campfire, right?
And
That's
around the
half the
campfire,
fun.
That's where it all happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
yeah, it's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, it's
thank you guys.
Blessing. It's been a total blessing.
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a
Alrighty.
pleasure having you guys.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right,
I'd
thanks.
say we get Troy in here.
Okay.
As far as I know, he was our first TJ to LJ conversion on the East Coast.
On the East Coast, yeah.
And we can
Okay,
probably get
can we swing around? Does that
Yeah.
work? This is his Jeep here. He's going to tell us about it. He's first off, start, your full name and where you're from.
I'm Troy Culberson. I'm from Northeast Tennessee, right near
Oh,
Bristol.
cute accent.
As you can tell, yeah, very southern. This Jeep started in the family as my dad's Jeep. So it was a 98 TJ, and he bought it to drive back and forth to work because it was a 4-cylinder and really good on gas. So,
Is it still?
no.
It has 4 more cylinders.
But yeah, and it's a lot to learn. Last time I wheeled this thing, it was a 4-cylinder stick shift on 33s.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
And you came straight out here to wheel with us.
Yep.
I love it. I
So-
love it.
Yeah, and that's, getting into the horsepower thing, that's something you've got to get used to. Because, like, before, it would just stall out before you got into trouble. It didn't have enough power. That's not the case
Not
anymore.
the case anymore.
And you kind of did everything how we do. You did one with full manual valve body.
Yep.
We talked a few times at Smoky
Yeah.
Mountain, and he just kind of did the whole thing
Yeah.
exactly how we would.
And another point for the full manual valve body for the guys on the East Coast, the mud. It's really easy to start in second 4-low or third 4-low because you need the wheel speed going into a mud hole, and you don't want to shift it because then you break input shafts and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So it really helps on the East Coast too.
Oh, check this out. VB Tom says, I did the math. If you wheeled only 10 days a month for 20 years, it would cost you less than $21 a day to upgrade to 1-tons coilovers and an LS motor.
Hey, all right. I like
Yeah.
his logic.
That sounds so reasonable, Tom.
You should be able to, anybody could talk the wife in for that.
Right.
Tom needs to follow his own logic. though.
Sam Walker
Maybe
says,
that's what he's doing. He's doing the math to figure it out.
Sam Walker says Tony sold my wife with one ride in Terremoto
Oh, all right.
I
Awesome.
think that one ride cost me quite a bit of money too. It's like, yeah. Haley
Okay,
can
so,
definitely tell the difference.
Troy-
My wife.
Was that, did she ride with me that one day at
I
JK?
did.
You did, okay.
Yeah.
When I was at JK Land.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But
And that's who did all the work, J.K. Wayne.
yeah,
right?
JK Land. There's no way I needed to be doing all of this myself. But yeah.
They did a nice job. They
Yeah.
did. And this was on display last August at
Yeah.
Smoky
Will
Mountain.
it be on display again at Smoky Mountain?
Yes, and it'll be at Jeep Beach next week.
Oh,
All right.
oh.
So anybody
So-
that wants
yeah.
to look at
Yeah.
pretty much your whole catalog,
Yeah.
you know, LJ, Arcade.
Is this the one we saw at Jeep Jam last year?
Uh, No,
Panama
Smoky.
City. Smoky.
So
Yeah.
we have Smoky
Sorry.
Mountain and Jeep Beach. So
Yeah, come through. Tell Steve I sent you.
We've had
Help me
multiple
out.
questions. Are we going to Jeep Beach?
We are not, but there obviously
Yeah.
there will be Jeeps there that
Yeah.
you can go check out.
Maybe next year.
Will it be in the JK Land booth?
Yes, it'll be in the JK Land booth.
Okay.
So
There's
cool.
plenty of Jeeps in the
swing
JK
by
Land
and see it.
booth with GenRight parts.
Yeah.
So you'll have lots to see.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, how about Troy? How about this? Have you? Can you tell us about any sketchy or memorable trail moments you've had in this Jeep?
Oh yeah.
I can tell
Oh
about
yeah.
one.
Yeah, Tony's got a good one on me. And that goes back to the no power situation. Yeah, I started up a line at the maze and was like, yeah, you know, it'll probably stall out. You know, I gave it gas and it went. It didn't stall out.
No,
So,
no, it was going into the sky.
Yeah, I was looking at NASA.
That's when Tony looked at me. Hey, get over there.
Like that guy.
And two in the dunes, that's what I was getting ready to say about the coilovers and the suspension and stuff. There was times where I would crest the top of a dune and Haley's would just prepare. Like she was getting ready for a car rig and it just lands and
Nice.
it's like a cloud. It's
Yeah,
great.
that's really nice.
But,
Yeah, one of the things, speaking of your incident that I saw, there's a lot of holes in the rock around here, and you got to keep that rear tire. You're really driving for the rear tire.
Yeah.
You got to keep it out of there, or the thing just does something wild. Even today, there was plenty of spots.
oh yeah.
There was.
Yeah, it's-
We didn't exactly give them many warm-up trails either.
No,
it was
yeah,
straight
you
in.
jumped right
We
in,
just
yeah.
took 'em in.
Yeah.
Like,
This
just
is
hop
all
right
my-
into the pro league, you know?
Oh yeah. And this is only my second time on the West Coast too, so it's totally different.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Rock and sand, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like on Flipper, you know, I broke traction and just laid into it. And back east, you know, heat your tires up, it'll probably pull through, but out here you're just wasting gas.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's all
cool
about
though.
the momentum going in.
Oh yeah. Sounds cool, put on a good show. But
Any more? Do you have something else you wanted to ask him? I was going to ask him,
Yeah,
you know,
go
if he
ahead.
has any recommendations for people watching that are thinking about their build.
well, depending on how far you want to go, it's always GenRight though. I mean, you know, they make stuff that's less wild than this. Like my wife, she's looking at building one, and we're wanting to do 37s. You know, she's not into it that big. And again, your stage one is.
But so like this, yeah,
Yeah,
the stage
something
one
like
elite,
that.
yeah.
The
yeah.
way
It's really
he
good.
described his wife's build to me was that he wants to build something to get to the trails
That
in
I
case
do.
he,
Oh,
in case
there
he
you go.
tosses it or something.
There you go.
Hey, you gotta have that
I
shit.
know, that's
going.
some
That's
good
true.
thinking.
Well,
I
the
like
other
that.
day when Terremoto acted up, right, I was going to the backup
Yeah,
Jeep,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. There is something fun about when you have to drive them to work the next day. You know? but
Yeah.
no, it's been really good. I'm really happy with it so far. It's definitely exceeds my capability.
Awesome.
Great story.
Looks
Thanks.
great.
All right.
right.
Do we have any other volunteers?
Yeah, we do. Heck yeah. Let's talk to who's close by. Let's talk to Ted. Come on, Ted. You can even bring the dog. Do you need to move, hon? Do you need to move closer
No,
to Ted?
Ted's gotta
You're-
move.
Are you okay? Yeah. Okay. Ted, did your Jeep have a name?
Nope.
No.
Not yet.
Ted's Jeep. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jeff's the dog whisperer. Okay, so can you see Ted's Jeep? Maybe we need. Let's step over here
Yeah.
so that the Jeep's in the background.
There you go.
Okay, Ted.
Yes, sir.
Tell us where you're from.
Southern California.
Okay.
Dana Point area.
All right. And how long have you had this Jeep?
Since 2016.
Okay.
It's on its third build.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Final build.
yeah. So you cried several times.
You know what? The last time I'm very happy.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But I kind of worked my way up through it.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out what you wanted, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And tell people about this. What have you got in it?
Well, I got an LT4 V8 in it, and of course all GenRight fenders, GenRight cage, GenRight, everything's GenRight.
Suspension.
Suspension.
Yeah. You're on 42s, right?
42s and
This was
70
actually the
axles.
first Elite I saw on 42s.
That's right.
Because you've been on 42s a while.
Yeah.
And at the
started on
time,
Yes.
those were the only tires you could get,
Correct.
right? Like the 42s were scarce.
Exactly.
So, who built this for you?
Redlands Motorsports.
Okay, cool. Thoughts, changes
Thanks,
you'd make?
Kathy,
I mean, is
so
it
much.
Nothing. I love it.
just more
Love
seat
it.
time?
More seat time.
Yeah.
Just getting used to it. Today was awesome. Just, the tires are broken in. Just a couple little things I got to work on. Again, like you said, throttle control, filling the lines, but today was a really good day out there. It really was.
Good.
I forget you've had it for a few years now. There's not one scratch on it.
I've had it touched up a couple times. I like it to look pretty. So.
Hey, Ted. How did you get the inspiration for the red race stripe across the middle?
You know what?
Love
Actually,
that thing.
Rob at Redlands Motorsports, I was going to go white and black. And he says, no, we got to go candy on the cage. So he did candy on the cage, then we did some candy accents. And I, at the time, I had a Dodge Power Wagon with a stripe down the middle. And I said, let's do that on this. And when we
It
did,
looks awesome.
Tony, step a little bit back so we can see it.
This way? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Pride and joy.
Just you can just see
Actually,
it
I
on the
gotta
tail
come over
end,
this
but
way because I'm holding the mic.
it's across the hood and
I
the
was
roof.
fortunate enough that my wife let me kind of let loose on the budget a little bit and finally get it done right. So.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a question too. Does the aluminum roof rattle with the cage?
It doesn't until I put a second subwoofer in, then it did. But we just put some weather stripping underneath it, and it's been good.
Cool.
Do you have a headliner in yours or no?
No headliner.
I know
Yeah.
some people do that. Yeah.
And Ted, what has surprised you the most about the way your Jeep performs off-road since you've built it?
Wow. It makes me look like a better driver than I am.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. That's what I always say. I make up for my lack of talent with good equipment.
Oh, it's just so smooth. Yeah, it's smooth.
And have you broken anything?
Not yet.
Okay,
Not yet.
that's good.
Not yet. Well, I did. I think you were out there at High Desert Roundup.
Yeah.
My tires were not broken in.
Thanks, Sam.
I just got it in. The build was done.
the drive shaft.
And I got way too heavy on the throttle, bounced it,
wild man,
and
Ted.
I completely
Twisted it, yeah.
Just severed the drive shaft.
Yeah,
So
that's. Then we talked about throttle control.
we did.
Yeah.
We did. So yes, I did break something, but nothing GenRight.
Yeah, and yeah, I think a lot of that comes from too many YouTube videos where
Yeah.
everybody gets on the gas and drives like a monster truck driver.
Yeah, I just wasn't used to the horsepower. So, and I would have been fine with a lot less motor, but who's ever said they had
It
too much
sounds
horsepower?
good, I know. Yeah. Smiles per gallon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ted. That was awesome.
Yes.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
It's
Thanks.
a beautiful Jeep.
Thank you.
Beautiful Jeep.
I guess I'll return your dog.
All right. Do we want somebody else next, or do you have other questions?
Hey, Ari.
Oh, Ari. Yeah, he's a good one. Come on down, Ari.
Billy McCrary says, I see you. Yay.
Yeah, let's get Ari over here. Ari also has 2 GenRight Jeeps.
Who doesn't?
Oh, Cam showed up. Delayed.
That's okay. That's okay.
Kid over there.
Billy
Yeah.
McCrary says, I see you, Ari.
Hey, Bill.
Addie.
There, he's wearing the shirt. Yeah.
Okay, we have a couple of interview questions for you, bud.
Okay, read them off.
How did you first find GenRight?
I don't know.
And what made you buy the first part? What did you buy first?
Complete Jeep.
That one. Yeah.
That was your first part?
Did
That's
you
went
my
the whole
first
find us
thing?
on
part.
YouTube or something?
I found you guys on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah. Watching
Wow,
videos.
awesome. Okay, so what has surprised you the most about the way it performs?
Stability. The suspension's very stable. It doesn't rear steer. It doesn't all of a sudden unload on you.
Yeah. I knew the word you were looking for.
I know. And I was like searching. I'm like not in the mode. I'm not in the smart mode. I'm in the.
No, Ari is very technical. He loves to watch how the other Jeeps are performing and see what works and what doesn't work, right?
And try something different and try to push it a little bit different than other people are doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the technical rock columns.
And we
I like
originally-
the fast part too, but
Yeah, of
I
course.
really like the technical
Yeah,
side.
Ari has ripped around with me out here at full tilt, I remember. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So Ari, originally we built that on 40s, and since then he's gone to 42s.
That one's on 40s. The other one's on 42s.
The other one's on 42s. Okay, so still on 40s.
Since that one, I have a second Jeep. It's a
LJ.
LJ. Most people know that one probably more than this one. but
Yeah, and you like that one because It's more narrow.
It's narrower. It's a little bit shorter. I don't know. It's just different.
A little lighter. Yeah.
This one's faster. It's more stable at speed. It can do all the same technical stuff. Some of it can do better, but most of the tight stuff, it's a little bit big.
Right.
So you're watching your body pedals.
Right, which we've talked about a lot. You know, the JK and the JL, they're just wider. No way around it. So
they're both great platforms. LJ wins, but the JL's
well, especially if you have a lot of people to take, then you got to have a 4-door, right?
So. Or for camping.
Yeah.
Okay, Ari, if you were gonna build the Jeep for the first time again, would you do it the same or would you do it different?
I'd do it different.
What would you do different?
I wouldn't do a JL
at all.
If I was going to do it for camping, then I would do it. If I was going to do it for what I like to wheel, I'd do it LJ. 100%, no question.
Yep.
Not the best sales pitch for EXS, but
no, but we do have the Tracer, right?
Yeah,
so that's fine. Yeah.
If you could give advice to someone just starting their build, what would you say?
I would say come to one of these events that Tony invites you to, and ride in the different Jeeps.
Good.
Figure out which one you like.
That's the best answer so far.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
Yeah, because then you get a chance without spending a dime to ride in the different ones and see how they feel, and really it's feel, right? You're not even that worried about the performance of they're all going to perform. So it's how does it feel to you as you're going through stuff?
How does it feel? How much is the space adequate for what you plan on doing?
Thinking about, yeah. You get to see the manual valve body transmission in action, right? Yeah. All of the things we talk about, you actually get to see how it works.
And that's one of the things with the JL. If it was like an LS platform with a manual valve body, then I would enjoy it a lot more.
Because that's what you like about the LJ?
That's part of what I like about the LJ. Yeah. When you shift, it shifts.
Yeah.
There's no computer telling it, no, even though you shift it, it's still not shifting.
So.
Does anybody have any opinions on the 8100 shocks yet?
Let's let the Bilstein guy talk.
Well, I think they're talking about stage 1, and we really haven't.
No, when we get back from this, we're going out to test that. Yeah.
So maybe in a couple, two
tests. Well, unless you have something else you want to say, that was pretty good.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, you.
Sorry.
All right. How are we doing on time?
We got 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. Well, here's minutes. Jerry. Let's talk to Jerry. Where's Jerry's rig back there? Have you named that one yet?
It's the Rock Squirrel.
The Rock Squirrel. Okay. Here, I'll stand on this side, and Jeff can stand on that side.
We're squirrely now. Because I'm a little squirrely, so
a little.
Okay, honey, ask me a question.
Unless we're pushing you, you're pretty squirrely.
Okay, Jerry, where are you from, and how did you first get into off-roading at all?
Well, from is a long story. I came from Colorado, but I've been in California for 37 years, so I'm almost a native.
Okay.
And I've been wheeling since I was about 11.
Wow.
So,
long time ago.
Been.
What did you wheel when you were 11?
Oh, a variety of things from, F-250 to
I had a Power
41.
Yeah, right.
I had a 41 Power Wagon. I resurrected out of a junkyard.
I had a Huffy bike.
And Jerry spends his life in the dirt.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm always in the dirt.
And we should say he was the third place finisher in the Real Hammers
That's
experience.
Right. That's right.
Hey, I finished.
He is
third.
Hooked.
He podiumed.
Yeah.
He's hooked.
Podium.
So
got to finish again this year in this Jeep now.
Yeah. Okay. So talk about this Jeep. What's the inspiration idea?
So this Jeep, I had my other Jeep,
bit,
and
Tony.
I came and seen you.
Yeah. Perfect.
I came and seen you guys at High Desert Roundup. I was ready to upgrade this Jeep, and I was going down the path of a competitor who, the more I know, the more glad I am I didn't make that bad decision, because everybody that I know wheels with it has issues and problems and brakes and has all kinds of things that hang down and get stuck and rear steer issues that drives you off of the line and everything you talk about. So then I went out and watched you go at Pumpkin Eater, and I watched my friends doing the same obstacle, and they're just stuck and bouncing and spinning and getting winched, and So, well, the trail changed. Then I see another one of your rigs just drive right up like it's nothing. I'm like, wait a minute. And then another one that's my friends group, they come up and they struggle and struggle. And I was like, there's something to this. I got to go pay attention. Yeah. I got to pay more attention to this. So that set me on the path of the Elite. I already had 1-ton axles and I wanted to keep them. I spent the money on it and you convinced me they weren't right. And oh, that was a hard decision. But I'm so happy that I listened to that. Didn't listen to everything, and I'm paying the price. But I listened to that one, and so now the suspension works like it's supposed to. And I follow you through the desert, and I can keep up.
Like Terremoto, right?
Yeah. I can follow you and pretty well keep up.
It's fun.
Other than the 42s, but I think I put more power to the ground because I don't have 42s. So there is that.
I hear you coming. I hear when Jared's on an obstacle.
Well, you hear me coming because they didn't do a very good job on my exhaust, but that'll change.
Jerry, what's one mod you cannot live without?
The whole Elite suspension. I mean, that just makes it. I like to go fast. I like to do technical things too, and it does both.
Right.
And you know, that seals it for me. I got the 3.0s, so I can go fast, and it does a great job.
Yeah, for a long time, GenRight had that reputation that it won't crawl.
Yeah.
But it does just fine.
Yeah, I've had people tell me that, and it's like, I don't have a problem. It does just fine.
Yeah.
And what is the hardest obstacle you've ever tackled?
Oh, boy.
I don't even know my answer.
Yeah, I really don't know that answer.
How about something out here?
There's a lot out here. The Soup Bowl, I would say, because I'm 0 for 4 on the Soup Bowl.
Okay.
It's kicked my butt.
You got to be nuts. I saw you do that.
I did. No, that's nothing. I do that every time. I've done that in the rain. That's easier than the bypass. All you've got to do is commit to the throttle and drive the line, and you drive right up it. But a whole lot of people seem to mess it up, so it gets a bad name. Totally nuts, that's a different story. I didn't get all the way up it because I didn't have a cage and I wasn't going to go full send. But I got up to the ledge that hangs everybody up, and I gave it baby bumps, and like, no, put a line on it, drag me up, I'll live to fight another day. But that wasn't in this Jeep. This Jeep would do it, but I don't want to. I've done it already. I don't want to go back to that one. So.
There's Andrew Pater.
Oh yeah, here he comes.
He's sneaking in, nice and quiet.
What's your Jeep's name, and does your Jeep's name live up to its personality?
Well, I think it does.
Hey, Andrew.
Jumps all over, you know. And and my other Jeep Vengeance, before this one was even done, I bought all of your suspension for that, and but it's a modified version, so because it stretched farther, I had to, and I used the axles I had. I couldn't buy 2 sets of axles at the time, and I still can't. But I've got some different ones.
Okay, we got. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's a really good technical. It's 110 wheelbase, so it's a little, a lot shorter. Not a lot, but it's a substantial amount, and I put more travel in it. It's got 14 front, 16 rear, so it really flexes. And like for instance, the guy that rolled over today on the Z-turn, he was on the exact line that I drive. And because I've got the shocks are tuned right with your tune, the spring rates are dialed in right, and everything's set up, and I've got enough flex, and I've got enough steering, because I fixed the steering. His steering don't work. I drove that same line and wasn't even tippy at all. I kept all 4 wheels on the ground on the line he flipped on.
Yeah, that didn't seem to want to drop out.
When you guys were telling him driver, he was full lock. That's just all he has because the steering linkage is jacked. He has the same problem I used to have before I fixed it.
And I was going to mention on this Jeep, you have taken it on an overland trip with us.
Yeah.
Now rock crawling.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing everything in this.
Yeah, it does everything, and then I can, get in it and drive it 4 or 5 hours up the highway.
Yep.
although it's a little loud for that and obnoxious, but I'll tune that
Yeah,
down a
figure
little
that
bit one
out,
day.
yeah.
I got to talk to this guy over here because he's got way more motor than me, and it don't sound like it.
All right, thanks, Jerry. We got
Okay.
no minutes left, but
Okay, well, that's
anything you
okay.
wanna ask
If we still got
Andrew?
people watching, let's keep going.
Okay,
Andrew
cool.
just showed up, so
Yeah,
let's
and
talk to Andrew.
Mark Lawrence says, Andrew, huge help when I built my tracer.
There you go, see?
A lot of tracers out here, so you
Yeah.
should have been here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's ask Andrew a couple of things about his Jeep. Where are you from?
Simi Valley.
Okay, and how long have you been Jeeping?
Wow. Well, that's a long story. We won't get into it, but Jeeping's been in my family since the 60s.
Okay,
So,
how long have you had that Jeep?
that Jeep I bought because of my son being born, so I needed something with AC and heat, so I got a Rubicon LJ. So that was 11 years ago.
Yeah, look, you got your car seats in there, and
Oh, yeah.
you're using that back
I'm
seat.
using that back seat
Yeah.
still to this day. So, yeah, 11 years.
Can you
of
see
that.
the Jeep, hon?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
can
good.
you kind of do a quick walkthrough of the evolution of the build?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. So, a lot of people questioned why I bought a Rubicon because I knew I was going to take the axles out and knew I was going to take the transfer case out, and that's what makes it a Rubicon. I wanted to enjoy it for what it was because I didn't have the
While
money.
you could.
Yeah, while I could. So I didn't want to touch the suspension. I felt like that was a waste of money. I just want to put the GenRight fenders on, our GenRight belly up system, and a roll cage and some armor. I ended up highlining it and threw it on 37s with no lift.
And drove it that way for years.
Drove it like that for years.
While you saved the money,
While
right?
I saved the money. So I was telling a lot of guys today, it took about 5 years to compile the money and the parts to build that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, every time somebody calls in, I tell them they should talk to you because you can kind of get them on the right path. Yeah.
So the Jeep was enjoyable for what it was. I ended up having to put a little bit of money into the suspension because the control arms were junk. But it was nice. It was very few things I had to do. I was able to sell it all. I got at least half my money back, and I mean those are the same front fenders I had on it
from the beginning.
Yeah, so there's a few things that I wanted to protect the body since it was so clean and so nice. Got it off the original owner, so I still did the rocker guards and corner guards, knowing I was gonna have to sell those. But again, I got half my money back, and
right, that's fine.
That's pennies compared to what I have into it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, you mentioned that you started the build when your son was born.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the Jeep community and how your experience with it has brought you closer together with your kids, or as a parent, or that sort of thing, family?
So it's a little different with the girls. Cameron's daughter looks like she has a blast out there.
Yep.
My daughters
aren't quite as excited.
The off-camber thing is a little dicey. Feels a little weird. They love roller coasters, so I don't know why it was an issue yet 2 days ago. But my son, he'll go up anything with me. He did Twister with me a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And we did that again today, and that was awesome.
But wheeling is in his family back to your grandma,
Yeah,
right?
back to my grandmother.
So it's just part of what they do,
Yeah.
camp and wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, do the girls enjoy camping with you?
They
when you
love the
come out?
motorhome. So we use the motorhome as a playhouse also. We have dinner in there quite often, and I always find the door open. So they love spending time in the motorhome. Daisy even said, "You think if we had a little bit bigger motorhome, we could live in it?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not? We'll move out here. Why not?"
Cute.
So, yeah.
Everyone's saying what a great helper you are at GenRight and helping them find parts, and they're just thanking you profusely.
Yep, for sure.
Good job,
It's a little easy when all the parts are awesome. So,
Hey, I just noticed Craig over here. Could I ask? We want to ask Craig. a
Yeah,
couple
let's
questions.
get Craig over here.
Craig, come here.
Moxon. Oh.
I just wanted to hear about what's happened with your YJ since you got it.
Oh, yeah, that's
'Cause
right.
You got the budget YJ.
I don't care about the tracer.
Can you just give us like a quick update?
We get
on
asked about that
how-
all the time.
Yes, I have the budget YJ up in Northern California.
Can you just update us on how that
It
has been
stays
for
there year round, which was my goal, and it's perfect for there because it's just Forest Service roads. I used to take my tracer up there, and it was just overkill. Not even really fun, So, because actually Forest Service roads have speed limits, and it was just felt like it was just
can't even get into second
pretty
gear.
boring. So the budget YJ is perfect for it. It's been just a little over a year now. I think it was December. So yeah, it's great. It gets me where I want to go. All the old-time farmers from the valley always compliment me. They're like, "Oh, nice Jeep, nice Jeep." It's pretty fun. And I love the old school of it, you know, climbing into
simple.
it. Simple, super simple. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
okay, what originally attracted you to GenRight?
Okay, so I had a 4-door JKU on 37s and King shocks, not coilovers. And that was, I mean, I grew up in the desert, motorcycles and things like that. But I just found myself gravitating to more and more technical trails, rocks, and so forth. And the sound of depreciation
that's one of my favorite terms if you don't know that.
was creeping in more and more. And so I just started searching online through, God, I think it was like, I don't know, YouTube photos or something like that. And I saw this, I didn't even know about LJs, right? And I saw this LJ, it was a GenRight LJ. It might have been Peters.
Probably Peters, yeah, like that dark candy apple.
Yeah, whatever the name of it, I don't know. And I'm like, it just spoke to me.
It was
I'm
beautiful.
Like, and it looked like a rock crawler, you know. I mean, not buggy, but obviously, you know what I mean. And it just spoke to me, so I reached out to Andrew, talked to him for quite some time, and knew that there was the direction I wanted to go because I really enjoyed the technical aspect of it. Went and bought a 05 bone stock 115,000 miles LJ, a true LJ, and took it to you guys in, I don't know, 8 months?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyways,
that was a while ago. How long was it?
I think this is my...
Like 6 year?
No.
Has it been that long?
4 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah. And
seems like I've known you longer than that.
And anyways, dropped it off. 7 months later, picked it up, and funny story is I got it like 4 weeks before Trail Hero, and I made this guy, I'm like, Tony, you are sitting in the passenger seat and we're going to go out for half a day and show me how to drive this thing.
That was great.
And I was just telling somebody yesterday, we did Double Sammy, and now the one pretty good wall that you climb in Double Sammy, you're like telling me, I didn't know, first time here to Sand Hollow, first time in the Jeep, first time driving a real Jeep on 40s and the whole thing. And so you're telling me where to go on Double Sammy, and we get to this wall, and he goes, that's the trail. And I'm like, we're going up that?
The chute? Are we talking about the chute?
No, not the chute.
Okay.
Just in the middle of Double Sammy.
Okay, yeah. Where it is straight up,
Yeah, and we're going up that, and he goes, yeah, you'll make it, go up it. And sure enough, and then we did it yesterday, right? And I mean, I'm not bragging, but it felt like I could do it with my eyes shut now. It's been 4 years of coming here twice a year.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
So it's all good. But yeah, super happy with the Jeep.
And you use your Jeep to overland as well, right? It's not just a rock crawler.
Yeah, I can convert it easily to overlanding.
Yeah.
I have, throw on the spare tire rack. I hang gas bags off of it. I have the luggage rack that goes inside, so I got 2 levels. And if it's just me, and I do my bear burrito for sleeping, which is a hammock, and I got it down so I can go 3 or 4 days easily.
Awesome.
Hey, Shane Wolford just popped in to say great interviews. Miss you, Craig.
Anyways, just super happy. Jeep's running great.
He doesn't miss Jeff? What about
Shane? We didn't add. You did do an LS.
Yes.
Winston.
And are you full manual? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Would you change that? Like,
No.
would you advise everybody that's what they need to do?
Oh, Nick wrote to me to the gas station yesterday, and he was like, what? He's like, you don't have to slow down to shift. No, you don't. It's reverse, right? And he's like, well, that's cool. So he was kind of,
Okay.
And, but
Thanks, Craig.
And I just love tinkering with it.
I know you do, yeah.
It always changes a little bit every time I show up. Yeah. Thanks.
You bet.
Okay, we got just a couple last questions, and then we can wrap up.
Winston's ready, yeah.
Kent asked, how are you guys attaching the flags to the Jeeps? GenRight flag holders?
Zip ties.
Yeah,
zip ties.
and I've got one on my whip antenna. Jennings has one on her just radio antenna.
It's more for highway use, though.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Her antenna.
What's wrong with
He's
it?
just giving you he's busting your chops.
He always does that. God.
You're an easy target. Sorry.
I know. Okay. Let's see. Matt McDonough. Jeff, can you check your email when you get back to the office?
Okay.
I can.
What's for dinner?
Oh, man.
Winston's having some kibble, and
Yeah.
we haven't decided yet.
Yeah, I have not decided yet.
Let's see. I think we got it. Maybe you got it all covered.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I wish you were here because we're having a great time.
We are. You definitely want to come next year.
Yeah. And we're staying at Jellystone, which, by the way, you're looking at the water park behind us, which is quite nice.
I just had eye surgery, so I can't go down the slides.
Down
but
the slide.
I'm very much looking forward to it next time.
year. Yeah. So we were in the pool quite a bit earlier in the week. It was warmer, but yeah, this is a great park to come and stay at as well.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
I mean, it's only Wednesday. You guys could probably still get here.
You definitely could. We're here running trails through Saturday morning.
Saturday, depending on the weather.
Okay. And if you have missed this one, yet another GenRight event, you need to make sure you don't miss any more.
Yep, and we will be here during Trail Hero.
Yep.
Doing
in this spot.
our own rides.
Yeah.
So definitely contact us, and we can set you up with what we're doing.
And our next event is a week after we get back from this on April 26th up at Big Bear. So there's another chance. It's a day run, easy for everybody. Come join us, and we're going to run 3 of the most well-known trails there. And of
we have
course, that will be
intentions
fun
to
too.
run 3, but we will make sure if you come, you get through at a comfortable pace.
That's right. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next Wednesday.